Let us see very quickly how we see the beginning of the British. So British, they got the charter from Queen. Who was their queen? Elizabeth. Okay, they were able to participate in the Spice Trade of 16 from the east. 1600 was the time when they got the royal charter. Company was headed by a governor, and who is going to manage his court of directors. The strength was around 24 at this point of time. In 1611, King James I obtained trading privileges from Mughal Emperor Jahangir through William Hawkins, allowing regular trade. So two important personalities came to the court of the Mughals. The first one was William Hawkins, but the major changes, it came by the time of Sir Thomas Roe. Sir Thomas Roe was able to obtain more trading privileges than William Hawkins. So दो लोग हैं. William Hawkins came in 1608 and by 1611 which is the coming of Thomas Roe. Acquisition of territories. So in 1639 from the Raja of Chandragiri, they got the time of the creation of the Fort George, and this was the first land holding by the company in India. इसको आप ध्यान रखेंगे. And this was the area of Madras. Who gave them? Raja of Chandragiri. It was given by the Raja of Chandragiri. Golconda ruler. Okay, he overran the company's territory in Madras in 1645, but Aurangzeb's conquest of Golconda in 1687 brought this territory under Mughal rule with continued English privileges. Bombay, as we have previously discussed, it was given by Charles II as a part of dowry, and this came to them in 1668. The first area which came under their control was Madras, and this was given by the Raja of Chandragiri. ये facts आप याद रखेंगे. Further expansion, like Charter of 1683, this led to the increase in their overall aims and objective. Now they could raise even military forces. उनको ये allow कर दिया, and make treaties with powers in America, Africa as well as Asia. कि आप अपने level पे treaty sign कर सकते हो. This came from the Charter of 1683. Madras became a presidency in 1652, nullified in 1655, again re-established around 1684. Whenever we talk about local governance in India, तो हम सब लोगों को एक चीज ध्यान रखनी है. The first area to see a municipal government in whole of India, it starts in Madras, and a mayor was appointed in 1688. This is the first state, okay, Tamil Nadu or the area of Madras. For the first time, we see the establishment of any municipal government. Additional grants of villages surrounding Madras were obtained from 1693 and 1702. So with the period of time, they always ask for one or the other concession. कि कुछ ना कुछ और हमें दे दो. Then, if we see Bengal, this was the most important area for them. They started acquiring trading rights in here. Initially, privileges were given by Shah Shuja. He was the governor of Bengal, but they lacked any kind of royal confirmation till 1680. Okay. In between, they fought against Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb, he was very powerful, and eventually the British, they were defeated. And finally, they gave a compensation of 1.5 lakh rupees, and their various privileges were restored. उन्होंने उसको वापस दिया. Then the area which will become Calcutta in the future, एक village था known as Sultanati. Okay, the Sultanati was the first settlement which was given to them. It was fortified in 1696, and more villages were merged in by 1698. So this is how Calcutta was formed. So the first settlement was Madras, second was Bombay, and third was Calcutta. Eventually Calcutta will become the capital, but among these three, this was the last one to be set up. ये बस ध्यान रखना from the point of view of facts. Fort William, eventually, as all of us know, it was a fortified factory, and this will become the headquarters of the whole presidency in 1770. There was one Sir William Norris. He was sent by King William III in 1698 to negotiate full English jurisdiction over settlements. And finally, the most important commercial treaty for the British, also known as Magna Carta, and this was given by the King Farooq Shiar, which will create eternal tension between the ruler of Bengal and the British. And this was done by Farooq Shiar. इन्होंने एक फरमान दिया that they can trade in all parts of India, which will become a problem because the sovereignty was enjoyed by the Mughals, but the Mughals were not controlling these areas. So naturally, it was up to these local rulers to do what they can do, okay, to control the British. Now, when we talk about the relationship of the English and the French, they fought 3 wars known as Carnatic War. The first one was fought from 46 to 48. Second fought from 49 immediately next year to 40 to 54. And the last one, it was fought from 1756 to 1763. So these are the 3 Carnatic Wars which were fought. The British, they had to fight these 3 with the French, and eventually they are known as Carnatic War. Whenever somebody says Carnatic, this is the region in our South India lying between Eastern Ghats and the Coromandel coast. This region includes present day Tamil Nadu, Eastern Karnataka, Northeast Kerala and Southern Andhra Pradesh. ये आप याद रखना, प्रीलिम्स में कभी ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि कर्नाटक का मतलब क्या है. एवरीबडी सेज कर्नाटक वॉर्स, कर्नाटक वॉर्स. व्हाट इज दिस कर्नाटक रीजन? So this is the Carnatic region. Tamil Nadu is completely part of it, the eastern part of Karnataka, northeastern part of Kerala and the southern part of Andhra Pradesh. So when we combine this geographical region, it is known as Carnatic. And this is where we find 3 wars were fought. Okay, among these 3 wars, first war and the third war, they were directly linked to the European politics. The first war, as all of us know, it was linked to Austrian War of Succession. The Austrian king died. The successor was not accepted by the French. So the French started a war against Austria, and that's how the war was split. And whenever the war started in Europe, उन्होंने कहा हम पीछे क्यों रहे? That's why they started fighting in India itself. Then the second Carnatic War. This war is the only war which is having any kind of origin in India itself. Okay, and this was over the succession crisis in 2 states, Carnatic as well as Hyderabad. And the succession, both British and the French, they went for different kinds of contestants, and this war continued till the departure of Dupleix from India in 1754. And finally 1756, this is known as 7 Years' War, and this war is also not having any kind of Indian origin. So even the war which was fought in India, it was an extension of the 7-year war. So कभी भी prelims में question पूछ ले, which of the following war has a region linked to Indian politics? The answer would be second Carnatic War. And the overall interval, it starts from 1746, it ends in 1763. In 1763, Treaty of Paris will be signed. As per this Treaty of Paris, French will not be allowed to have any kind of political doing in India. उनका जो भी political control था, it ended. They will only remain a commercial entity after that. Commercial and cultural entity, not political. They will not have any kind of peace treaty signed with any of the Indian power, or any kind of war can be fought by them. So this, after this, the British has to only focus on controlling the rest of the Indian territories. As you can see, during this war itself, one major battle was fought, and this was the Battle of Plassey. The Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757. Okay, and after 1757, the British got a lot of resources, and these resources could be easily utilized in defeating the French. And then in 1764, immediately after the third Carnatic War, we have the Battle of Buxar. Okay, so ध्यान रखना, ये points इसलिए याद रखने पड़ते हैं because eventually UPSC में कभी भी question chronology के ऊपर आ जाए, so you should remember it. So, if you see the first war, it was fought because Austrian ruler Charles VI, he died, and he was succeeded by Maria Theresa. But the French, they opposed her succession and allied with other European power against Austria. This is known as Austrian War of Succession. याद रखना चाहो रख सकते हो, अगर सिर्फ लिखना चाहो, it was because of Austrian War of Succession, even that is fine. So when that was happening, the conflict between the Britain and France in Europe extended to their colonial possession, and the colonial position included India. War in Europe also led to clashes in the area of North America also. Now in India, the most politically agile personality, it was Dupleix. So what Dupleix did, he was the new governor of Pondicherry. He appealed to Madras governor Morse to remain neutral. British squadron captured the French vessels, escalating the tensions, and Dupleix appealed to Nawab of Carnatic for assistance to avoid war with British. So this is something which was continuing in this first Carnatic War. These were the initial skirmish, छोटी-छोटी fights हैं जो हो रही थी. But the major naval battle, this was fought by one of the Governor General of the French, and he was not from India. He was from Mauritius area, and his name is La Bourdonnais. So he came, he arrived with 8 warships, okay, and he was able to defeat the British squadron Patton, and eventually the British, they ran away to the area of Hooghly. वो छोड़ छाड़ के भाग गए यहाँ से. Initial reverses for the British in the naval battle, and the conflict marked the beginning of first Carnatic War between the British and the French colonial power in India. So this, when this first Carnatic War was being fought, okay, the French, they succeeded in capturing the area of Madras. उन्होंने मद्रास को capture कर लिया on 15th of September 1746. Governor Morse was asked to surrender, but the Madras governor turned to Anwaruddin. Anwaruddin, you have to remember. So he was a person who was the Nawab of Carnatic. Okay, so Anwaruddin was asked, but Dupleix, he was very clever. What he did, he talked to the Nawab, let me capture Madras, then I will give it to you. मैं आपको तोहफे में दे दूंगा. Okay, that's something that he was clever in convincing the Nawab that he was securing Madras from the British to be handed over to him. तो उन्होंने कहा चलो ठीक है, तो अच्छा है. That person is going to be helpful to me. So on 21st September, the English were forced to part with Madras, but when the Nawab of Carnatic, or Anwaruddin, he asked the French to hand over Madras to him as promised, the French dodged. उन्होंने मना कर दिया कि ऐसी तो बात ही नहीं हुई हमारी कुछ, है ना, कि मद्रास तो हमारा है, हमने लड़ा है. Thereupon the Nawab sent a force of around 10,000 men, and with the command of Mahfuz Khan. Okay, so the first Carnatic War was getting fought between the British and the French, but this area was under the control of Anwaruddin. Look, please understand, आपका area है तो sovereignty किसकी होगी? नवाब की. If few people are fighting, it becomes a law and order issue for them. What will they say? Stop it, बंद करो. So that's something that he said. But the French said, we are going to capture this area and आपको प्रेश कर देंगे, we'll give it to you. But that was not done. So naturally he had to send his men for that purpose. But the worst thing was, Nawab's forces, they blockaded this Fort St. George, which was held by the British. The French forces pushed Nawab's forces towards Saint Thom, and the French received reinforcement which increased their position, and finally Mahfuz Khan attempted to halt the progress on the Adyar river. So this battle of Saint Thom, which is going to be fought, the French forces waded through Adyar river, launching severe attack on Nawab, and they suffered heavy losses in this battle. So what did we learn from the first Carnatic War? Yes, the advantage went towards the French. However, we also realized that the Indian principalities are not strong enough. They could be challenged by these trading companies. 10,000 लोग भेज रहे हो फिर भी जाके you are getting defeated. That's not something which is going to be leading to succession, or your rule is not going to prolong or continue. Dupleix targeted Fort St. David at Cuddalore, which was held by British. They played diplomatic game, promising Nawab's flag hoisted in St. George for a week, then requesting Nawab to hand over town to British. So in a way, they defeated the Nawab first, then tried to have a link with him. Okay. And finally, the French offered gifts to Nawab to withdraw support to British. Two British attempts led by Admiral to take Pondicherry failed. And finally, when the peace came in Europe, and this treaty is known as Aix-la-Chapelle, this treaty was signed. Once this was signed, French, who were controlling Madras, this was given back to British. But this whole first war, it revealed one thing, that the Indian kings, they are not strong enough, and they could be easily taken for a ride. बस मौका आपको चाहिए, and this was bound to happen in the next episode. The second episode, which is known as Second Carnatic War, it was fought from 49 to 54, roughly 5 to 6 years, and the major reason, this was because of the War of Succession happening in Hyderabad as well as Arcot. Arcot was more of a dependency of Hyderabad. Hyderabad, this became a powerful kingdom under Nizamul Mulk. But after his death, eventually we see a war of succession. So the French, okay, the French were supporting Muzaffar Jung for the Nizam of Hyderabad and Chanda Sahib for the Nawab of Carnatic. ये उनके contenders है. But naturally the British, they supported Nasir Jung and Muhammad Ali against the French backed candidates. So this is how a kind of alliance was created by both of them, and this was bound to turn into the second Carnatic war. The first battle to be fought, it was the Battle of Ambur. In this battle, Muzaffar Jung along with Chanda Sahib, they defeated Nizam and Anwaruddin forces. Anwaruddin in fact was killed and Chanda Sahib was declared Nawab of Carnatic. Arcot और Carnatic can be used simultaneously. कोई इसमें issue नहीं है, confuse मत होना उसमें. The French led forces then entered Deccan after this victory, and Nasir Jung, he was killed. Muzaffar Jung was made Nizam of Hyderabad, fulfilling Duplessis' ambition temporarily, and the French received money and territory from both Nizam as well as Nawab of Arcot. This is something you have to remember. In 1751, this is 1751, where the plan of Duplessis is reaching its height. ना दोनों एरिया के में उनके कैंडिडेट्स आ चुके हैं, but the anti-climax will also start immediately, and the anti-climax will happen because of the shrewdness which was shown by Robert Clive. Robert Clive said कि आरकोट को सीज कर लेते हैं, ये लोग फाइट कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे के आगे जा जाके, what we'll do, we will seize the Arcot. So let us see what will happen. So once both these parties won, Bassi, he was a French general, okay, he was sent to protect Muzaffar Jung, but what happened? Muzaffar Jung died and Salabat Jung, he was put on throne. And Chanda Sahib, he was against Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, he was the son of Anwaruddin. So he knew कि Muhammad Ali जब तक जिंदा रहेगा, there is always going to be a contest. And this Anwar Ali had taken a refuge in the fort of Tiruchirappalli. So that's why he went to Tiruchirappalli. So when Chanda Sahib went to Tiruchirappalli, the most important role will be played by Clive, because उनका focus Tiruchirappalli पे रहेगा, and Robert Clive will say we should go towards Arcot, और ये वापस उनके लिए आएंगे, and that's how the British changed the overall position. So let us just see what is the role of Robert Clive. तो अगर हम इनकी बात करें, early life, born in September 1725, कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं था इनका स्टडीज में, है ना, expelled from the school for 3 times, still creator of the biggest empire in the world and the British Empire in India. His father somehow secured a writer's post. So initially a clerk थे, he was a clerk in the East India Company and sent to Madras to work for the company. Promoted eventually as the governor of the fort of St. David, involved in the Carnatic War and the most famous, the siege of Tiruchirappalli. This is his initial contribution. Please remember, this siege of Tiruchirappalli is very, very important. Why? This is from where the fortunes of French started declining. Okay, and this is where his role comes into the picture, and won the decisive battle of Plassey, laying the foundation for British Empire. So if we see his profile, so he was responsible for the Plassey, because this Plassey as a battle was not sanctioned by the company. Company ने इसको sanction नहीं किया था. Company was saying that ऐसे काम मत करो, because they were literally fighting in South India. Already the war had started, but he said, I have better plans, and these better plans turned into the battle of Plassey, because naturally it was won not with the military strength, it was won only with the treachery. Secured the Diwani rights from the Mughal Emperor 1764. He himself became very wealthy. He was able to purchase many cities in England. His father used to send him written letters कि इस बार कौन सा खरीदना है, पहले ही बता दो, पैसा कितना आ रहा है, मैं पहले से सिटी के ऊपर भोली लगा के बैठ जाता हूँ. Okay, so that's how he used to get a lot of money from the Jagirs in Bengal. When he returned to England, okay, he faced parliamentary inquiry over the corruption allegations. Despite being exonerated, इनको free कर दिया था कि नहीं, इन्होंने कोई गलती नहीं है, whatever it is. Even though he was a corrupt person, he committed suicide, and controversy over public pressure. Some people say that he committed suicide because eventually he realized that he has done large number of mistakes. So that mental agony, पश्चाताप करने का एक तरीका क्या था? He eventually gave his life in between. But he was instrumental in creating British control in India, and later on his image got tarnished by allegations of corruption. That is something which we have to remember about him. Let us come back to what we were doing, because in between इनके बारे में थोड़ी सी प्रोफाइल जाननी थी. So the context, as we see, Duplex was trying to control Tiruchirappalli because this is where Muhammad Ali was sitting, and he was a threat. He was a threat to Chanda Sahib until he was alive. So Muhammad Ali faced a challenge with limited troops and some English assistance. Clive proposed the alternate strategy. यार ये लोग कहाँ जा रहे हैं? Tiruchirappalli. So where should we go? We should go to Arcot, and Arcot, it was the capital of Carnatic, while French and the Nawab focused on Tiruchirappalli, and this was going to become a historic decision. He moved from Fort St. David with a small force, received some support from the Raja of Mysore as well as Tanjore, and finally, while this was seen by Chanda Sahib, he sent around 3,000 troops along with his son Raja Sahib to capture Arcot. However, they were able to capture it for how many days? 53 days. And within these 53 days, despite being outnumbered, his forces held Arcot, and in subsequent battles, including Arni, Kavaripakam, Muhammad Ali's forces emerged victorious, and Chanda Sahib, he was captured and executed. So this is how the anti-climax started. Both Chanda Sahib as well as Muzaffar Jung, they were now becoming prominent. But as we see, by the end, the things started to take the different turn. In Europe, Britain and France were not at war, leading to disapproval of company's conflict in India. French, उनके सामने सिर्फ एक डिमांड रखी गई, that you have to call back Duplex. Duplex was a very visionary in terms of creation of empire. The first person who thought of the idea of subsidiary alliance. The whole system was not created by him, but he was the first one. He was fighting alongside Hyderabad as well as Carnatic. He was the first one to venture into these kinds of initiatives. And this Treaty of Pondicherry was signed in 1755, establishing mutual non-interference in Indian princely quarrel and defining their territorial possession. So whatever positiveness which was there with the French, it was coming towards a draw by the end of Second Carnatic War. Then comes the third one, the most arduously fought one. Again, the arch rivals, they fought for roughly 7 years, and this war began in North America. This war was fought in Europe also, and finally it manifested in India itself. So this war was fought in multiple parts of the world. It was a very prominent one. But before this war was fought, one important event happens in Indian history, and that is the Battle of Plassey. Why Battle of Plassey is important? Because the British got a lot of money because of this, and this money was now going to be utilized in the Third Carnatic War, where the French would be struggling to pay their soldiers on time. पैसा देने का पैसा ही नहीं है उस चीज के लिए, सैलरी देने के लिए. While the British, they are sending support from Bengal incessantly. Mir Jafar, who comes to power, he gives a check, भर लो जितना जीरो डालना है, and take it to the south. So that's why this battle is very, very important for them. इसका सबसे बड़ा reason यही है, all the money, all the richness of Bengal was eventually utilized for capturing south and then the rest of the India. That's why there's a term that Bengal emerged as a plundered and a sponsored state. It emerged as a plundered state because इसका सारा पैसा लूट लिया, और इसका पैसा लूट के क्या किया? As a sponsored state. ये दोस्तों में होता ना, आज की चाय तुम स्पॉन्सर करोगे, आज ये करोगे. बंगाल से पूछा नहीं गया कि नहीं आज से सिर्फ तुम ही करोगे. दिस इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी विच इज गिवन टू यू. बहुत पैसा है तुम्हारे पास. दिस इज हाउ Bengal was the richest province. In fact, the only province which used to settle its dues with the Mughal emperor on time, it was Bengal. Pre-payment करते थे, advance payment of taxes. बहुत पैसा अपने पास, ले जाओ थोड़ा बहुत, कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं है. That's why British, they did the right thing. If you are an empire builder, क्यों साउथ में लड़ाई कर रहे हो? When North India is ready, है ना, with these kinds of maneuvers, है ना, बस एक बार आपको आके बात करनी है, and all of them they went against Siraj-ud-Dawla. That's why there's a very famous statement. This comes from M.A.R. Marriott. He says that Dupleix made a cardinal blunder. He made a cardinal blunder for finding the key of India in Deccan. Clive sought, है ना, उन्होंने मंथन किया, सोचा, and found the key in Bengal. तो चाबी बंगाल में थी और लॉक कहाँ ढूंढ रहे थे? साउथ में ढूंढ रहे थे. साउथ was neither having the resources to capture the rest of the India and it was politically very volatile. एक छोटे से कर्नाटक के लिए 4 राजा लड़ रहे हैं. यहाँ पे देखो सब रेडी बैठे हैं, आप शतरंज करिए, हम आगे आगे आते हैं आपके. So that's why it was a low hanging fruit. है ना, low hanging fruit का मतलब समझते हो, जो सबसे पहले ले सकते हो. बट ये ध्यान सिर्फ किसको आया? क्लाइव को. और क्लाइव भी यहाँ क्यों पहुंचा, उसके पीछे एक स्टोरी. ओके, सो लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो इफ वी सी बंगाल, there was a transfer of power in 1756. The Nawab who came to power, he was Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay, he was Siraj-ud-Dawla. Siraj-ud-Dawla, he was young, a bit hot-tempered, and as a result of that, he was not liked by the majority of the officials of the court. In the same year, the fort which was constructed by the British, what was the name of the fort? Fort William. Okay, this fort was being fortified. Fortified means उसको bunker बना के पूरा उसको military weapons setup कर रहे थे. Okay, the fort was getting fortified. उसको पूरा infrastructure को change कर रहे थे वो लोग. But if you are creating a fort in someone's territory, that person is bound to get affected by this. So that's why the Nawab Siraj-ud-Dawla, he said to the English कि बंद करो ये सब, this is my area and you have to take permission first. But this was not liked by the British. They kept on continuing building their fort and fortifying it. Siraj-ud-Dawla went, he defeated the British. Okay, but when he defeated the British, some of his officials, they put all the prisoners in one room. This room was having very poor ventilation and many of them, they died the next day when the door was opened. So this event is known as Black Hole Tragedy. Okay, this event is known as Black Hole Tragedy. When this Black Hole Tragedy happened in 1756, as a result of this, Clive started his journey from, okay, he started his journey. चलो मैं देख के आता हूँ क्या चल रहा है वहाँ पे, because this was becoming a town. Town की talk बन गया था main. That some of the people, some of the British people, they have been killed by the Nawab, and that too mercilessly. He started his journey from October 1756, arrived by December, signed a treaty with the Nawab 1757 in Feb. यार नवाब ने कहा चलो गलती हो गई, काम करते हैं, whatever privileges you were having वो आपकी हो गई. This is known as Treaty of Alinagar. This was signed in Feb 1757. Treaty sign कर ली. However, he realized the whole court of the Nawab is ready for the power change. हर कोई रेडी बैठा हुआ है कि आप बताइए बस ना कब गोली चलानी है. So he realized Mir Jafar, who is the commander in chief, he realized Jagat Seth, who is taking care of the whole of the economy of Bengal. They all of them, they are ready for this. So that's why after creating this alliance, unholy alliance, in March 1757, he first attacked the French in Chandarnagar, and then by June 1757, we see the Battle of Plassey. There is a specific trend which we see, that he came to Bengal because of the Black Hole Tragedy. But when he came, he realized कि भाई चलो ठीक है इसको settle कर लेते हैं. So he tried to settle it by signing a treaty of Alinagar. But after signing the treaty of Alinagar, he realized that all the people are ready. They are ready for the change of power, change of guard, because nobody likes Siraj-ud-Dowla. And that's why after setting that alliance, first he defeated the French, because he knew the French are going to support the Nawab. That was going to be clear. So first he defeated the French, and then he went towards this Battle of Plassey. This Battle of Plassey is very infamous. Why it's very infamous? The reason is very clear. Mir Jafar, he was having the strength of 50,000 people. And the whole number of forces of the British, they were less than 3,000. अब 3,000 लोग 50,000 लोगों को हरा सकते हैं क्या? Yes, with modern arms and ammunition it is possible, but in those times arms were not that modern कि जो मन में चाहे कर लोगे. It is not like Salman Khan entering the field कि 10,000 तो वैसे गिर जाएंगे नीचे, है ना? बॉलीवुड मूवी या मोस्टली साउथ की मूवीज में होता है, द हीरो गेट्स एन एंट्री, 50 लोग इधर गिरेंगे, 50 लोग इधर गिरेंगे. So that kind of situation was not there. The thing was 40,000 people were directly under the command of Mir Jafar, because he was commander in chief. They remained outside the battlefield. Battlefield से बाहर खड़े रहे. ऐसे कौन सी है ना, ऐसे कौन से commander in chief होते हैं? But he was like Mir Jafar. That's why Mir Jafar is very infamous. And then he even advised Siraj-ud-Dowla. Siraj-ud-Dowla was not in the battlefield when they lost. Siraj-ud-Dowla was advised by Mir Jafar that you go, enjoy karo capital पे, है ना? I will just beat them and I will join you in the evening party. साथ में बैठेंगे. Siraj-ud-Dowla said, ठीक है, अच्छी बात है ये तो, मेरी जरूरत नहीं है यहाँ पे. Finally, what happened? Mir Jafar first surrendered to Robert Clive, just to show that their army has lost. And the son of Mir Jafar, he killed Siraj-ud-Dowla, and he became the Nawab himself. But this experiment was not going to be for the long run. He became the Nawab in 1757. In 1759, he tried to have an alliance with Dutch. Okay, Dutch के साथ एक alliance create करने की कोशिश की by Mir Jafar, and the Dutch, they were defeated in this famous battle of Chinsura, also known as Bedsara or Chinsura, and he was changed in 1760. He was changed in 1760, and Mir Kazim came to power. Mir Kazim was of a very sound mindset. He was a very good administrator, and he was trying to create an independent state of Bengal again. He shifted his capital. सबसे पहले करके capital ही shift कर देते हैं यहाँ से सबसे पहले. Then he created a gun factory, and then finally he was even trying to bring out the terms which were creating problems for the Indian merchants. उन्होंने जितनी भी trade पे duties वगैरह थी, all of them they were abolished. All these independent actions were not liked by the British. That's why Mir Kazim, he fled in 1763. He fled in 1763. He created an alliance. This alliance was created by signing the deals with whom? By Shuja-ud-Dowla of Awadh as well as Shah Alam II. So this is how an alliance was created, and this alliance fought a major battle in 1764. Okay, this battle was fought in 1764. This was a fair and square battle. It was a completely military battle, and this was won by the British. And after that, they were not going to lose that easily to anyone. So 1764, it's a defining time for Bengal and its history. A province which was going to be so much richer was now bound to get affected by it. So this is the rough story. तो पहले प्लासी को देख लेते हैं. East India Company misused the trade promise, which we already know. The company sheltered a relative of Nawab's enemy, and they used to give shelter to them. Okay, like there was one Begum known as Gaseti Begum. She was given refuge by the British. So that's why the Nawab was not happy with the British action. So he was the one who captured the fort, William. British sent forces under Robert Clive and Admiral Watson. The Black Hole of Calcutta incident occurred, as we know. The British power transformed from commercial to territorial. Mir Jafar became Nawab. They gained privileges including sovereignty over Calcutta. Resident was set up at Nawab's court, and Mir Jafar, who was later replaced by Mir Qasim. So Mir Qasim came to power in 1760. Qasim's rebellion, why? The reason was very clear. He wanted to just show himself as an independent personality, which was not liked by the British. So he fled, okay, and he formed an alliance with Shah Alam II as well as with Shuja-ud-Dawla. They fought this battle of Buxar, which they lost, the British victory due to superior military, and then they signed one of the most famous treaty for the British. This is the Treaty of Allahabad, signed in 1765. Through this treaty, they got Diwani right, the right to collect revenue from the province of Bengal, Bihar as well as Odisha, and this was very, very important. They also got 3 Bengal districts, Burdwan, Chittagong as well as Midnapur. Sovereignty over Calcutta was now complete, and they became the rulers of Bengal. So these 2 battles are very important, and through them Bengal fell under the control of British. But seeing it from the point of view of Third Carnatic War, the first battle was very defining. Why? Because that gave them money. All the revenue of the Bengal, वो तो उनके पास तभी आ गया था, and this money was bound to be utilized for fighting against the Third Carnatic War. Okay, so the outbreak of Third Carnatic War, as we already seen, it was because of a 7-year war which was fought there. The British captured the French settlement in Chandarnagar, which we have already seen. Count de Lally, he was appointed as French commander in India. He captured Fort St. David in southern India. He targeted Tanjore but failed. Then he even recalled Bassi. Bassi, he was stationed at Hyderabad. But this was a very big mistake. Why? The moment Bassi left Hyderabad, Hyderabad also left out of the control of French. बाकी तो सब जाना ही था, हैदराबाद भी चला गया उसके साथ साथ में. The French lost Rajamundry, Masolipatnam. Nizam of Hyderabad switched sides, aiding the British, and this happened because who was called? Bassi was called back by Count de Lally, and British, they gained Masolipatnam and northern Sarkars. This area was gained by them. The siege of Madras, the French forces they attacked the Madras. British forces outnumbered, hold out. The French siege failed due to lack of progress, casualty on both sides, and then finally even the arrival of the British general Pocock, and the French finally retreated to Kanchipuram. The one battle which all of you are going to remember, this is the Battle of Vendy Wash. The Battle of Vendy Wash is very important because this was a defining battle, and in this the French were completely routed. And who was the person responsible for that? The name is Sir Eyre Coote. So he arrived with the British troops, okay, and this Battle of Vendy Wash was fought in January 1760. British under him defeated the French under Bassi, who is captured. The British captured the Fort Senji. They even laid siege to Pondicherry later on. They fiercely defended Pondicherry for months, but however, the British possession of Mahai also fell, and the Pondicherry also surrendered by Feb 1761. So once we see the downfall of Battle of Vendy Wash, Pondicherry fell within a month. एक महीने के अंदर वो भी खत्म हो गया. By the Feb 1761. Thereafter, they signed a treaty. This treaty was again the outcome of the 7-year war, which was fought in Europe. 7-year war ended. France, they regained Pondicherry as well as Chandarnagar with limitation naturally. Now they cannot pursue their political activities. They will only engage in commercial ventures. French influence restricted to specific trading posts in India. The British became the dominant colonial power in India, and finally, East India Company transformed from a trading entity to territorial power. So, Battle of Plassey, major important victory. Then comes the Battle of Vendy Wash, very important. And finally, the Battle of Buxar in 1764. After 1764, now the British had to look after one or the other form of administration. Okay.
Hi, a very good evening to all of you. I'm Vikas Ahlawat. I'm a former civil servant. I was able to crack UPSC twice. In fact, in 2018, I was able to get highest marks in history optional, and they were around 324. So this year, I'm coming up with a series which I'm calling Self-Study History Optional. इस series में 100 से ज़्यादा वीडियो होने वाले हैं, which are going to cover the different nuances of ancient, medieval, modern as well as world history. So those of you who are preparing for 2025, register करिए and try to get the maximum out of this specific initiative of ours. So at Prepcareer IAS, we are producing results from last many years. 2023 में बहुत सारे टॉपर्स हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट से थे. 2022, 21 हर साल बहुत अच्छे टॉपर्स यहाँ से निकले हैं. And they have been able to get very good marks in history optional. So those of you who are thinking कि यार start करके कितना कर पाएंगे कितना नहीं कर पाएंगे, we already have achievements with us. I was able to achieve, my students are achieving, and you can be the next. इन सेशंस में क्या होने वाला है? नंबर 1, विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन फाउंडेशन ऑफ बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम व्हाट इज हिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज हिस्टोरिकल पीरियड, व्हाट इज प्रोटो हिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज प्री हिस्ट्री, बेसिक लेवल. ओके. सेकंड, अलाइनमेंट विद यूपीएससी सिलेबस. जितना भी हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल का सिलेबस है वो 51 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है. सो वी आर गोइंग टू अलाइन ईच एंड एवरी कंसेप्ट विद द सिलेबस इटसेल्फ. Number 3, we're going to focus on answer writing. All of you know कि जो मेंस है वो ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है, वो सब्जेक्टिव लेवल पे होता है, और आप सब लोगों को आंसर राइटिंग सीखना शुरू करना पड़ेगा, है ना. वी डू नॉट हैव टू मच ऑफ टाइम, तो जिस स्टार्टिंग से ही आंसर राइटिंग शुरू करेंगे. एंड नंबर 4, द ओवरऑल पैकेज इज़ वेरी होलिस्टिक इन नेचर. तो अगर आप इसको अच्छे से कर लेते हैं तो जो बेसिक लेवल फाउंडेशन हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल की वो कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. यू आर गोइंग टू गेट मैनी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स अलॉन्ग विद दिस. ओके. 100+ सेशन है, चारों पार्ट कवर होंगे. थीम वाइज सेग्रीगेटेड डायग्राम, फ्लो चार्ट, जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट एनसीईआरटीज हैं. देखो अगर हम सारी एनसीईआरटीज को कंबाइन कर दें, एंशिएंट, मिडिवल, मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड ऑफ वेरियस बोर्ड्स ऑफ इंडिया, तो 25 से 26 एनसीईआरटी निकल के आती हैं. उन सबको हमने कोहेरेंट फॉर्म में डिज़ाइन किया है सो दैट यू कैन लर्न द बेस्ट फ्रॉम दैट. ओके. बिकॉज देखो हिस्ट्री में रिसर्चेज चलती रहती हैं. अभी तमिलनाडु की जो एनसीईआरटीज हैं दे आर मोर इंपॉर्टेंट इन कंपेरिजन टू द रिसेंट हिस्ट्री देन द प्रीवियस हिस्ट्री जो कि आर एस शर्मा वगैरह, सतीश चंद्रा या फिर बिपिन चंद्रा ने लिखी हैं. That's why we are covering all the NCERTs, and that's why 100+ सेशंस हो जा रहे हैं टोटल मिला के. देन 30+ वैल्यू एडेड आपको डॉक्यूमेंट मिलने वाले हैं, डेडिकेटेड आंसर राइटिंग सेशन मिलेंगे, जूम सेशंस भी करेंगे बाद में, ताकि आप लोगों की जितनी भी डाउट्स हों विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लर्निंग दे कुड बी सॉल्व्ड. ओवरऑल जो है आपको क्लास की पीपीटीज मिलेंगी, कंसेप्ट लिस्ट मिलेगा, पीवाईक्यूज, जितने भी पीवाईक्यूज हैं उनको अच्छे से हमने डिज़ाइन कर दिया ताकि आप सब उनको अच्छे से पढ़ सकें. माइंड मैप मिलेंगे पूरे सिलेबस के, वर्कबुक और लर्निंग असाइनमेंट्स मिलेंगे, एंड सेल्फ असेसमेंट टेस्ट, सो दैट वंस यू लर्न समथिंग तो साथ में उसको एटलीस्ट इवेल्युएट भी करना चाहिए ना, कि भाई हमें कुछ समझ में आया भी है नहीं आया, एटलीस्ट जितना रिक्वायर्ड है वहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं या फिर नहीं पहुँचे हैं. तो आपको करना क्या है, व्हाट वी नीड टू डू दैट, सबसे पहले आप रजिस्टर कर लीजिए. ठीक है. आपको एक स्पेसिफिक गूगल शीट मिलेगा, उसमें आप रजिस्टर कर लीजिए. देन एज ऑल ऑफ अस अंडरस्टैंड हर किसी के पास लिमिटेड स्लॉट्स हैं, तो आपको एक स्पेसिफिक कॉल आएगा, एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच वी आर कॉलिंग एट स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस. बिकॉज अगर हमें आपको ये सारी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करनी है, द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स विच वी कैन हेल्प दे आर ऑलवेज लिमिटेड इन नेचर. सो अकेडमिक काउंसलर इज गोइंग टू कॉल यू, दे गोइंग टू हेल्प यू आउट, दे गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है. हो सकता है आप कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में हो, सेकंड ईयर में, थर्ड ईयर में हो, और यू मे हैव ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर सम टाइम एंड यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट. तो इसलिए हमें स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस चाहिए होगा. एंड फाइनली ऑन द basis of this, you're going to get the benefit of this program.